Okay guys, I was just going to show you a couple things on the NSR250 SP Sport Production. The SP is the rarest model. And it's kind of, let's see, got the extra features on it. We'll talk about those real quick. It's got the front adjustable suspension. I'll point here with my screwdriver, as you can see. It's got the rear adjustable suspension, as you can see here. And then it has the dry clutch, the nice clanky loud clutch. And it has the MagTech wheels. That's what makes it special. The lighter magnesium wheels, those other options I mentioned. This one actually has a Rothman. This is a Rothman. Has a Rothman decal on the dash. They are noted with the PGM3 computer. And I did the wire splice yesterday, where you can go online, you'll see where you can do the wire splice. It's on NSR World or NSR Net or something like that. You'll find it. And that'll give you extra horsepower. Apparently I'll gain maybe 10 horsepower on that. So as you know, it's a Rothman scheme. I bought it this way. It was kind of a mess. The fairings are in very nice shape other than a major chunk missing here, which I don't have the piece, which stinks, but the fairings are very nice other than that. And so I've got to replace that piece. I just can't bear repainting that whole thing. It's too nice. And the other thing is it had, which I talked about earlier, is it had this crunch on the one side. Other than that, the fairing's nice. So I did use a heat gun and straighten that out a lot. And then we're going to go in and fill it in with some new pieces. And then I did find some matching paint. I can get you a link to that if someone wants to reach out to me. But the bike is definitely, seeing its years. And it's a 92. It's got its oxidation. I scrubbed the devil out of it like 3 times now with all sorts of degreasers and everything. And I had to rip the carbs out because when I got it, the thing was frozen solid with gas that had leaked into the whole carbs and all the way down into the crank and literally froze the motor. So I got all that out. As you can see, I've taken off the pipes and everything. But a couple of things I just thought I would show you guys was the air hoses and the vacuum lines and everything and all the lines. As you can see here, I'll use this pointer. It's got all these, I had to disassemble these carbs and I took a lot of photographs, which I recommend, even video. And so you want to kind of keep track of what you're doing. You can go online and look up on eBay for used carbs and you can get an idea of pictures there as well. But I did a total carb kit with needles and everything. They weren't the identical needles, but they were what was recommended. So we'll see what happens. But hose wise, you can see this is what considered a vent hose. This vent hose just for some reason just comes up and dead ends here. This is the 4-way intersection they talk about that goes up to these relays or servos or what have you. I'm not sure what they're called. And this actually plugs in to your air box. So I was like, where does this go? Because I didn't have a hose on that to begin with. But when you look at your air box, you're going to see if I can get it for you. There it is. Let me dump this part out. Your air box drops right down on here, as you know. And you'll see the little clip. See that little clip right there for the hose? And that male plastic tip right there mates in to that little hole there in the center with the 4 holes around it. So that'll fit right on there. It's just a breather, I guess. So I got to scrub this air box up before I put it back in. But that's just a little bit of heads up. I got a new battery for it. I've got, directionals working, brake lights working. Also had to redo the brake. The brake was frozen solid and caved in. It was destroyed basically, but I actually resurrected it with its existing parts without a rebuild kit. I just kind of flushed a lot of fluid through it. WD-40 went in here, took this whole thing off, took it all apart, cleaned it out. Not all apart, but I sprayed it into here, the WD-40, and then put it back together, and I managed to blow out every single caliper cylinder in there. There's 4 on each side, left and right, and I managed to get them all moving and then lubricated them up. So they're all WD-40'd, blew a lot of new brake fluid through it, and I actually got a clog where the brake was solid and I couldn't move it at all. So what I did, oddly enough, is I reversed the one cable I dismounted it from here, took it off, and I brought it all the way up to here, removing this, and I reversed the flow and blew out the clog, which was amazing. And that's a little trick for you. It had all that rust crud in it and literally clogged it like a dam. And when I did that, I blew it out backwards, and then I reflushed it, and then I just flushed a lot of fluid through it. So like I said, I blew out all those cylinders on both left and right side, got them all WD-40'd up. So as you know, I would need new pads at this point, but I'm just using those in there as temporary placeholders until I get this thing running. Then I'll clean everything up with brake cleaner and put new pads in. But that's just a little tip on that. I probably should do a rebuild kit on this, but right now it's working great and it doesn't leak. The throttle came all disassembled and messed up, and it's not too difficult to put that back together. You're going to need to create slack by dismounting some of these things. And you've got your oil feeder back there. You'll see that little pulley. My pointer here. Where's my pointer? I don't know if you guys can see back down in there. Let's see. Right there's your oil wire. And these oil lines, as you know, go back to your carbs. And they go down underneath the carbs there. I don't know if you can see that. Can't get a good focus now, but they're going into the carbs for the, there they are down in here, down there. So those are oil lines. Got my fuel line back on, breather for the tank or airbox. And then as I mentioned, that mates into the airbox. All my other lines are on. Hopefully this will help you guys if you have any questions. It seems like a mystery until you get it back together. I had this one electrical plug down under here, buried under here, not the green one, but the white one below it that had to be disconnected. Goes to the carb. Thing works great now, completely rebuilt, new jets, new needles, new gasket kit for the most part, and should be in business. This thing will start right up, I guarantee it. But other than that, I can't think of anything else to give you a heads up on, but I've still got to do a lot of cosmetic on it. Like I said, I've cleaned the devil out of it, but it's still got its oxidation and so forth. But it had 19,000 and change kilometers. But it's going to be a runner within a week, I'd say. Forks, I'm debating whether to scrub them or just paint them. I'll probably paint them. Kind of had the idea of going back on with like a gold or bronze, like this older Honda 4-stroke, 4-cylinder 250. It's a CBR 250 RR. But I don't know if I should mess with it. I'll probably just go in with a silver or scrub these clean. But that's my 2 cents right now. I got new plugs for it, new air filter. Got to put new oil in and go from there. Take care. If you have any questions, drop me a line.